Good morning from the aptly named Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex in Leesburg, Florida, here on this Daylight Savings Time Sunday. It's time for Iowa Hawkeye Softball on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Aaron Blue reporting here from Kinnick Stadium, actually, in Iowa City, Iowa. Glad to bring you this live softball action here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. This morning is a rubber match between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Maryland Terrapins. The two teams split a doubleheader yesterday and bring identical 6-5 records into the contest, with Iowa winning a thrilling 1-0 victory in 8 innings in Game 1 yesterday on a double steal, including stealing home to win the game in the 8th inning. Maryland fought back for a 3-2 win in Game 2 yesterday, with Iowa taking an early 2-0 lead in the 4th inning. Maryland then scoring 2 runs in the 5th, 1 in the 6th to secure the 3-2 victory. Just a few minutes away here from first pitch, so let's get you the starting lineups. First, for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Maryland Terrapins, who enter the game with a 6-5 record. Leading off and playing first base, 00, Reagan Kerr. Batting second, the center fielder, number 22, is Jada McFarland. Batting third, the second baseman, number 27, Taylor Okada. Batting fourth, Grace Vulgaris catching. Next up is Campbell Klein, number 8, playing left field. Batting seventh is number 3, the designated player, Trinity Schlotterbach. Batting eighth and playing third base is number 20, Michaela Jones. JoJo McCrae plays right field, is number 6. And closing things out in the 9 spot will be number 7, Ruby Butler, playing shortstop. In the circle today for Maryland is number 42, Courtney Wyke. And Wyke brings a 1-0 record to the contest with an ERA of 1.17. She's appeared in 2 games with 2 starts. She's thrown 1 complete game. Just 12 innings of work so far for Wyke. She's given up 15 hits, 2 earned runs on 2 hits, has struck out 2 and walked 3. There's your Terrapins. Now let's look at your Hawkeyes, led by head coach Renee Gillespie in her 3rd season. Leading off and playing right field, someone very familiar with the leadoff spot, number 14, Nia Carter. Batting second, the left fielder, number 33, Riley Sheehy. In the 3 spot, the shortstop, number 23, Grace Baines. Cleanup spot, the first baseman, number 5, Denali Lecker. Next up, catching, number 19, Lindy Milkowski, had a great game behind the plate, throwing out multiple Maryland runners yesterday in that doubleheader. The designated player, number 50, Kalina Burns. Batting 7th, number 2, the senior second baseman, Arilee Bogar. Sammy Diaz, batting 8th, Diaz playing third base. And batting 9th, the center fielder, number 22, Breely Klosterman. And in the circle for Iowa is senior Sarah Lehman. Lehman brings a 1-1 record to today's contest. She's appeared in 2 games with 2 starts, thrown complete games in both of those starts. The first coming against Ohio State on February 26, where she took the loss in 6 innings and picked up the win against Michigan State. 2 days later on February 28th, throwing a complete game and getting the win. She is, as I said, 1-1, has thrown just 13 innings this season so far, has given up 4 earned runs on 8 hits, has struck out 12 and walked just 1. As we pause here for the national anthem. Thanks again for joining us this early morning here for this rubber match in Big Ten softball. It's a beautiful 60 degrees in Leesburg, Florida. Calm winds, 91% humidity as the home team Iowa takes the field. Two closely matched teams, both 6-5 records coming into the game, and two very close matches yesterday. It'll be interesting to see how today plays out in this rubber match. Iowa taking the field in their all-black uniforms with black numbers with gold trim, white hats, white belts, and white socks. Maryland will be in their road gold tops with red trim, white pants, and red socks. As Lehman, the senior from Iowa City, Iowa, Regina High School, takes her warm-up pitches to Lindy Milkowski behind the plate. Milkowski wearing all white catcher's gear, white helmet, white chest protector, white shin guards. Iowa with the white cleats, sharp-looking uniforms here for Iowa as we get started. Here's the pitch down, the throw down to second base, and we are ready for the first pitch. Stepping in to lead off for Maryland is Reagan Kerr. First baseman digs into the left-handed batter's box. Enters with a .286 batting average here through 11 games of the season. Kerr has played and started all 11 games so far. Looks like there might be a little issue with the actual base at third base. Umpire and a couple players over there digging it out and putting it back in. Sun is definitely shining at 9 a.m. local time in Leesburg. First pitch from Lehman. Here we go. In there for a called strike. Lehman's first action in the circle since February 28th. Next pitch is popped up to left field. And that is caught by Carter. Quick first out in the inning for Lehman. Just two pitches. Stepping in now, the center fielder for Maryland, Jada McFarland. A .417 average. And that pitch is fouled down the third baseline. 0-1. Strong start here for Lehman so far. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Works fairly quickly, digging into the circle here. The 0-1. Changeup appealed down. Looks like no swing. Count will be 1-1. Fastball just misses on the outside corner. 2-1 for Lehman. McFarland off to a great start this season. Started all 11 games, batting .417. Leads the team with 15 hits so far this season. Ground ball to short. Easy pitch and catch for the second out of the inning. Nice play by Baines to get the out. Taylor Okada digs in to second baseman. 3 straight lefties in a row at the top of the lineup here for Maryland. First pitch from Lehman. Misses just low, 1-0. Okada Jr., batting .273 again, started all 11 games. Second on the team with 10 hits so far this season. Lehman back to work. High in the zone will be 1-1, or excuse me, 2-0. And the next pitch hits her. That was a fastball inside. That caught her in the back or the shoulder. Let's see her trying not to, you can see Okada trying not to make too much of it, but that one came up inside pretty quick, and I couldn't have felt too good. So first runner of the game on first base, Okada at first, 2 outs. The cleanup hitter, Grace Vulgaris, digs in. The right-handed batter, catcher, with a runner on, 2 outs. First pitch is in there for a strike. Vulgaris, the best hitter on the Maryland lineup, batting .450. 3 RBI so far this season. Lehman on the 0-1. Up in the zone. Big cut by Vulgaris. That makes it 0-2. Lehman doing a nice job so far of getting ahead of hitters, being able to mix in some different pitches here outside of the zone, getting some good swings. Here's the 0-2 from Lehman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So in that inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left for Maryland. Hawkeyes coming up to bat here after this on the Learfield IMG Network. Back here at the Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex. Bottom of the first inning, Iowa coming up to bat after a scoreless top of the first. Good start by senior Sarah Lehman, the Iowa City Regina product. Facing that tough top of the order for Maryland. In steps Iowa's leadoff hitter, sophomore Nia Carter. Fixture at the top of that lineup, the right fielder. Batting .400 for the year. It'd be good to see her get off to a good start here. Get the Hawkeyes some runners. Puts down the slap attempt, but that is missed for strike 1. Courtney Wyke again in the circle. It's her 3rd appearance of the season. 12 innings, just 2 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So one would think there'd be a lot of contact in this game as that pitch misses down low to even the count at 1-1. Carter from the left side. Digs in. Here's the pitch. Another slap attempt. She did go. Count now 1-2. Trying to get that speed on the top of the lineup. Carter with 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts this year. Here's the 1-2 from Wyke. Ball put in play in between third and short, and the throw sails over first base as Carter digs in for second with no issue. That'll be a throwing error on the Maryland shortstop Butler, as Iowa off to a great start with a runner in scoring position with no outs to start the game. It was a ground ball just in the hole there in the 5-6 hole, and with Carter's speed, Butler rushed the throw, and it sailed over first base. Carter quickly moving to second. Great start for the Hawkeyes. Riley Sheehy digs in again from the left side. The left fielder batting .241 for the season. Puts down the bunt attempt but pulls back on the drop ball, so 1-0. And this is one thing Coach Gillespie talked about yesterday, is really looking for someone to come through with that key hit in these situations, runners in scoring position, moving a runner over, getting those early runs to try to avoid yet another extra inning contest. Iowa's 3 of their last 4 have gone extra innings. So big position here for Iowa early in the game. Here's the 1-0. The bunt is down but bounces back up and hits Sheehy. That'll be a foul ball. 1-1. Sheehy really trying to, as the left-handed batter, really trying to pull the ball down the first baseline to get Carter over to third. Again, looking at Wyke's numbers, she's pitched 12 innings and given up 15 hits. So a lot of contact available based on her previous starts. Here is the 1-1. That is low, 2-1. Good hitters count here for Sheehy, but by the looks of it, Iowa is wanting to get that runner over. Get something early on the scoreboard. Sheehy back in. Here's the 2-1. Bunt attempt down, and that hit her, but she had squared around, so that is a foul ball. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sheehy squared, and that ball came in quickly. Can't tell if it hit her hand or maybe up in the shoulder area, but the bat was squared, so it's 2-2 now. And we'll see the decision here with 2 strikes to bunt, slap, put the ball in play. Swing and a miss on a drop ball, so that is strike 3. So 1 down as Grace Burns, the freshman shortstop, digs in. Burns looking over to Gillespie for the signs. Wyke taking some time in the circle, and here's her delivery. Swing and a miss by Baines. 0-1. We are scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Nia Carter on second base in scoring position here with 1 out in the inning, as Grace Burns digs in, batting .185 on the season. A freshman shortstop. That pitch just catches the outside corner for an 0-2 count. Burns with 5 RBI on the season, 5 hits, including 2 home runs. Here's the 0-2. That ball is hit down the right side and foul over the dugout. Good job of battling there on a tough pitch in an 0-2 count. Let's see if Burns can get some action here to get Carter in motion. The 0-2 from White. Off-speed pitch fouled away. Another nice job of Burns battling there. Was way out in front of that pitch. Managed to get that bat around just to stay alive. So again, 0-2 for Grace Baines. Nia Carter on second, scoreless here in the bottom of the first. 0-2 count on Baines. Here's the pitch. And that ball is hit to right field. And a play at the plate, safe. The Hawkeyes take an early 1-0 lead off an RBI single to right field by Grace Baines. Great start for the Hawkeyes. Baines just took a pitch, shot it right through the right side in between first and second base, and with the speed of Nia Carter from second going on contact there with the ball on the ground, scored before the throw could make it. So an early 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Grace Baines. Coach Gillespie has to be thrilled with that start as head coach Mike Montgomery coming out for a mound visit. Mark Montgomery, excuse me. And again, that's one thing in the last few games we haven't seen from Iowa, getting early runners on and putting early pressure on, getting that key hit, moving that runner over, and what a great start here for Iowa. Take that 1-0 lead, and a great two-strike approach there by Grace Baines. Fouled off a couple tough pitches, and then took a pitch, just went with it to the right side, shot it through the gap to get that RBI. Long visit here in the circle by the Maryland coaching staff. Players are still there. And now there's discussions between the Maryland coaching staff and the umpires. Looks like we're ready to go again. For Nia Carter, that is her 6th run scored. Sixth RBI of the season. For Baines. Fourth RBI of the season for Baines, excuse me. So in now the first baseman, Denali Lecker, takes strike 1. Runner on first base here is Baines. And that pitch misses, 1-1. White taking her time in the circle. Here's the 1-1. And that ball is lifted to right field and also gets down. A little bloop. That moves Baines over to second base. So runners on first and second after 2 consecutive hits here for the Hawkeyes. It's a little bloop to the right side. Nice job by back-to-back Iowa hitters going the opposite way, just taking what White is giving them, putting the ball in play, getting runners on, putting pressure on this Maryland defense. Again, based on numbers, it looks like there's a lot of contact available here for Iowa, with White giving up 15 hits in 12 innings coming into this contest. Now the freshman catcher, Lindy Milkowski, digs in. Runners on first and second, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Pitch is in there for a strike. Milkowski enters at the .235 average. Has 4 hits and 17 at-bats with 1 RBI. Can double that total here with something in the grass. Pitch way outside, 1-1. 1-0 Iowa here in the bottom of the first inning. Runners on first and second for Milkowski with a 1-1 count. White to the belt. Pitch just misses on the outside corner. Brings the count to 2-1. Good hitters count here at 2-1. Let's see what Milkowski decides to do. White's been working that outside corner quite a bit here in this first inning. And that pitch is inside, and it hits her. Just grazed the elbow of Milkowski, so the Hawkeyes have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first inning. What an opportunity to make some noise here in this rubber match against the Maryland Terrapins. Again, another team meeting in the circle here for Maryland. The entire infield comes in, discussing what they want to do here with the bases loaded. And we've seen Iowa put pressure on teams with some squeezes, double steals, just really using their speed to their advantage. So Maryland's defense wants to get on the same page as Kalina Burns, the designated player, digs in with the bases loaded. Grace Baines on third, Lecker on second, and Milkowski on first. Big opportunity for Iowa. Bases loaded, 1 out here, already with a 1-0 lead. It's a ground ball down the left side and foul. Great opportunity here for Iowa to just get some more runs, make Maryland play from even further behind as we get into the top of the next inning here. Bases loaded. Here's the 0-1. That ball shot down the right side this time and foul, so quickly 0-2. Burns is definitely taking an aggressive approach here in this at-bat. First pitch pulled down the left side and foul. Second pitch pushed down the right side and foul. So now 0-2. Need to get the ball in play here and force Maryland to make some decisions and how they want to approach this bases loaded situation. Here's the 0-2 from White. And that ball is fouled to the backstop. 0-2. Pillows packed to Hawkeyes here in the bottom of the first. 0-2 count on Milkowski, on Burns, the sophomore. Chance to make a big impact here. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a pitch way outside the zone for the second out of the inning. You like to see the aggressive approach from Burns there with the bases loaded, but chased a pitch way outside of the zone there for the second out. And now Bogar, the second baseman, digs in from the left side with 2 outs here. Let's see if Iowa can take advantage of this situation. And that pitch is high. Gets away from the catcher. That will be a wild pitch as Baines trots in from third with no issue. Make that 2-0 Iowa here in the bottom of the first. And that's another way to get in a run. Pitch was high in the zone. Vulgaris couldn't get up fast enough, hit the backstop, and carry him toward the Maryland dugout. So now runners on second and third for Bogar. Swing and a miss. That is 1-1. And the next pitch is fouled off of Bogar's foot. That will make the count 1-2. LaCour on second, Milkowski on first. Already 2 runs in this inning. And the next pitch is right down Main Street for looking strike 3 to end the inning. But the damage is done. Iowa with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 Maryland error and 2 left on base for Iowa. We go to the top of the second. Iowa 2, Maryland 0. You're listening to Hawkeye Softball. It will be 5, 6, and 7 in the Maryland lineup here in the top of the second inning. Great start to the game for Iowa in the bottom of the first, pushing across 2 runs, taking advantage of a couple Maryland miscues to take an early 2-0 lead as first pitch is lifted to right field, and Carter camps underneath it. 1 pitch, 1 out. That was Trinity Schlotterbeck, the designated player for Maryland. Good start for Lehman. Like I said, 1 pitch, 1 out. And in steps Michaela Jones, the freshman third baseman. And that pitch splits the plate for strike 1. Really like the tempo we're seeing out of Lehman so far. Really looks in command. Pitching very well to start here. Works quickly the 0-1. Pitch just a touch high, 1-1. Iowa City senior ready for the pitch. Fouled down the first baseline. That will be 1-2. Jones for Maryland, the freshman third baseman. Has played in 10 games with 6 starts. This is her 18th at bat of the season. Struck out 7 times. And that pitch outside now, 2-2. Can kind of see the approach here from Lehman. Getting ahead in a lot of counts and just trying to force some chase pitches, and has been effective so far. Lehman here with the 2-2. And again, fouled away down the right side. We're in the top of the second. Iowa with an early 2-0 lead. Scoring runs on an RBI single by Grace Baines, and then on a wild pitch with the bases loaded in the first inning. Here's the 2-2 from Lehman. 3-2 from Lehman. That is outside for ball 4. So Maryland with their first base runner of the contest. Second base runner of the contest. Okada was hit by a pitch in the first. So Lehman's first pitch in the next at bat, low for a ball. Runner on first, nobody out. One out here in the inning. Lehman down 2-0. Again, Lehman working quickly on the 2-0. Low for ball 3, 3-0. Lehman taking a second here outside of the circle and looked very much in command in the first 6 batters. Lost a little bit of that right now. 3-0 count. And that one's nowhere close. Ball 4. So 2 straight walks here for Lehman. And it will be a quick visit here from Hawkeye head coach Renee Gillespie as the infield comes in. So after retiring 3 of the first 4 batters, 4 of the first 5 batters to start the game, Lehman has now issued 2 straight walks. So runners on first and second with 1 out here for Maryland. And they are down in the 8th spot in their lineup. Right fielder JoJo McCray, batting .273 entering the game. She has 3 RBI this season. Digs in from the left side. So again, runners on first and second for Maryland after 2 straight walks by Lehman. One out here in the inning. After the mound circle visit, here we go. That pitch is just low. 1-0 for Lehman. McCray digs in again from the left side. The pitch. There's a strike from Lehman after 7 straight balls. Good to get one back in the zone there. 1-1. And let's see what Maryland decides to do here in the bottom of their lineup. They've got speed all over their lineup. A lot of scrappy players. We'll see if they put anybody in motion. There's the slap bunt attempt, but pulled back for a 2-1 count. Iowa's infield charging hard on that attempt. In the top of the second, 2-0 Iowa. Here's the 2-1. And that ball is lined to the gap in left center field. This will plate 2 runs as McCray slides into third for a triple. So quickly, Maryland ties the contest at 2-2 with an RBI triple by JoJo McCray. That ball was lined hard to the left center gap. That is RBI number 4 and 5 on the season for McCray. So a runner on third with only one out. That's scoring Schlotterbeck and Jones for Maryland. So the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Ruby Butler, in for a strike. Butler batting 192. Again from the left side. Pitch looked like a changeup. Butler out in front, just fouls it away. 0-2. So time for a reset for Iowa. Got out to an early 2-0 lead. 2 Lehman walks, both come around to score. It's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on what looked like a rise ball from Lehman. Second out of the inning. Lehman's second strikeout of the contest. So back to the top of the order with Reagan Kerr. Kerr, the first baseman, flew out to left to start the contest. Two outs, runner on third for Maryland. Leadoff hitter up. Pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Would be a nice escape for Iowa to get out of this, still tied with a runner on third and 2 outs for Maryland. Next pitch is lifted down the left field line and foul, so it will be 1-1. And here is the 1-1 from Lehman. And that is hit to second base. Bogar makes the play to end the inning. So Maryland plates 2 on a RBI triple from JoJo McCray, and we're tied at 2 heading to the third inning here. Bottom of the second here in Leesburg, Florida. Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex. Thanks again for joining us even what seems earlier on this Daylight Savings Time Sunday. 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. local time down in Florida. Another good contest. What seems like a good contest here early, 2-2 between these two evenly matched teams at 6-5 on the season between Iowa and Maryland. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Iowa here in the bottom of the second. Bogar, Diaz, and Klosterman. Bogar digs in from the right side. They're making that play to end the inning at second. Here's the pitch from Wyke. Catches the outside corner. 0-1. Bogart really loaded up like she wanted to take that pitch again to the right side and checked her swing, but it was a strike anyway. And here's the 0-1. Right down Main Street, 0-2. So we've seen some good two-strike approaches from Iowa's hitters so far in this game. Let's see what Bogart does here with 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. And again, right down Main Street, strike 3. So Bogart struck out looking for the first out of the inning. Make it 3 strikeouts for Wyke so far. Next up is Sammy Diaz, the third baseman. One of 5 freshmen in the starting lineup today for Iowa. Pitches in their first strike, 0-1. Got Sheehy starting in left. Baines starting at short is a freshman. Lecker at first. Milkowski at catcher. Diaz at third. Klosterman in center. And that pitch is lined down the first base line, but foul. So 5 pitches, 5 strikes so far for Wyke here in the bottom of the second. Game tied 2-2. Diaz digs back in. Called strike 3. So back to the top of the order here with Nia Carter. And that pitch is fouled off. So Carter reached on an error in the first inning, came around to score. And that pitch also was strike. 0-2 to Carter. So no balls, 2 strikes to Iowa's leadoff hitter, Nia Carter. And that ball's put in play, but right back to Wyke in the circle, who throws over to Kerr for a quick 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. And we will be right back. And we are back here. First pitch of the inning by Jada McFarland. Lined right back to Lehman, who throws over to Lecker at first. So a quick first out of the inning. So 2-2, top of the third here, 1 out. And in steps Taylor Okada. And the second pitch of the at-bat is low, 2-0. Okada was hit by a pitch in her first at-bat, but was stranded after a 2-out strikeout to end the inning by Vulgaris in the following at-bat. So here's the 2-0 from Lehman, bunt attempt. Got the bat back in time. So 3-0, 1 out in the inning. First pitch of the inning by Jada McFarland was a short one-hopper back to Lehman, who threw a strike over to Leckler to get the out. So Okada now 3-0. And that pitch is outside, ball 4. So Maryland with just 1 hit in the contest. Four base runners, though. 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches. As in steps Vulgaris, swing and a miss on the first pitch. 0-1. Okada was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Schlotterbeck was hit by a pitch in the second inning. And Jones walked following that. Both of those runners came around to score. We've got a check swing here. No swing, says the first base umpire. So count of 1-1 to Vulgaris. Top of the third here. Tie game 2-2. Vulgaris puts down a beautiful bunt down the third baseline. Does its job, sacrifice. Looks like that play went 5-4. So 2 outs now. Interesting to see a sacrifice bunt from your cleanup hitter batting .450 for Maryland, but runner in scoring position for Campbell Klein, who's 0 for 1, flew out to right in her first at bat. And that pitch is in there for a strike. So Maryland again with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs here in the inning. Lehman's 0-1 is high for a ball, 1-1. And that ball is lifted to center field and is down. A diving attempt by Klosterman, just couldn't get there. And with 2 outs, runners were on the move, but Okada at third. And Klein now to second. I'm not quite sure how Okada didn't score on that. With 2 outs at second base and a bloop to center field, but runners at second and third here, 2 outs for Schlotterbeck, who fouls the first pitch away. So Iowa dodges a bullet there. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. 0-1 count to Schlotterbach. Here's the pitch. Change up. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. 0-2. Big spot in the game here already. Top of the third. 0-2, 2 outs. In a tie ball game, 2-2. Here's a 2-strike pitch from Lehman. Misses just high for 1-2. Here's the 1-2. And that ball is lifted out of play. So again, big spot here. Runners on second and third for Maryland. 2 outs, 1-2 count. To Schlotterbeck. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 2-2. Nice job by Milkowski to get up and get that, avoid a wild pitch situation. Two and two. With 2 outs, here's the pitch, fouled away again. Nice at bat here by the Maryland designated player. Two on, 2 outs, 2-2 count in a 2-2 contest. In the top of the third, here's the pitch. A changeup lined right to Bogar at second base, who makes the catch. Hawkeyes escape a jam there. It's tied 2-2 still, headed to the bottom of the third inning. Two, 3, and 4 hitters due up for Iowa here in the bottom of the third inning in a 2-2 contest between the Terrapins and Hawkeyes. Boy, a great job by Iowa there to escape that jam. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Great approach by Lehman there. Got the line drive to Bogart, second base, to get out of the inning. And still interesting to see Okada not score on that 2-out single, which was actually a double when it fell in the outfield with Okada on second base with 2 outs. Kind of surprising not to see her score and run with 2 outs, but away we go here in the third. First pitch is a ball to Sheehy, 1-0. Sheehy struck out in the first inning. Here's the 1-0. Pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Sheehy batting from the left side, the junior from Newtown, Pennsylvania, Council Rock North High School. Bat twirl as she digs back in for the 1-1 from Wyke. Check swing, but the ball's put in play back to Wyke, who fields and throws over to Kerr for the first out of the inning. So 1-3 on the check swing for the first out, and in steps Grace Baines. Baines with the RBI single in her last at bat. First pitch to Baines. That ball is lined down the third base line and foul. Baines, the freshman shortstop. A little bit of an open stance. Fastball strike 0-2 to Baines. Again, one of the impressive freshmen here in Coach Gillespie's recruiting class, seeing immediate playing time. And here's the 0-2. That pitch is low, good eye, by Baines. Baines back in for the 0-2. And here it is from Wyke. Line drive, but snagged by Kerr at first base. Great play by the Maryland first baseman. That ball was roped down the first base line. And Kerr, that first baseman's mitt, stuck it out right over the line. Great contact by Baines, just unlucky placement there for the second out of the inning. So Lecker in. Lecker singled in the first inning. And looks like we've got some signal miscommunication here between Wyke and Vulgaris. The Maryland coaching staff out and get everybody on the same page. Had 2 timeouts called here by Vulgaris. So getting everybody on the same page. Everybody now wearing those play wristbands that we see quarterbacks wear in football. Catchers, pitchers, infielders, everybody seems to be wearing those in softball now to make communication a little easier, but some signal miscommunication there. So a little pause in the action, and Lecker, another freshman, digs in. So here's the first pitch of the at-bat with 2 outs. And that pitch is high and outside. 1-0. Lecker, looking for her first hit in the series, was 0 for 3 in Game 1 yesterday, 0 for 2 in Game 2. That pitch also outside, 2-0. This is Iowa's last game in Leesburg, Florida. They return to Big Ten action on March 26th in West Lafayette against Purdue. Hopefully spring will agree with that schedule. Here's a ball lifted high to the outfield and dropped. Lecker into second base with no issue. That ball was in between Okada and McCray in that right field second base area. Okada went out to field. It probably should have been McCrae's ball with an easier play on it. Okada dropped it. That'll be an error, most likely. So runner in scoring position again for Iowa with 2 outs. See if Iowa can take advantage of another Maryland mistake. In the first inning, there was a throwing error on Butler, the shortstop, on Nia Carter's ball in play that allowed her to come around, and eventually she came around and scored. So let's see if Iowa can take advantage here. 2 outs, runner on second. And Milkowski puts the ball in play, and that drops. And hustling around on the play is Lecker, and that run will score. Iowa takes a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Milkowski just lifted a little bloop to right field that dropped right in front of McCrae. And with 2 outs, Leckler was hustling. No play at the plate there. Great base running by the Hawkeyes, and good job by Milkowski just to put the ball in play. So a 3-2 lead on another unearned run for Maryland, as now Kalena Burns steps in with a runner on first and 2 outs. And that ball is also lifted to right field, but foul. Really seen the top 5 hitters of the lineup here really take that opposite field approach against White. Not trying to swing for the fences here. Not trying to put the ball in the gap. Just good plate discipline, taking what White's giving them, putting the ball in play, and scoring runs. There's a pop fly right to shortstop by Burns. Butler makes the play to end the inning, but the Hawkeyes do score an unearned run and take a 3-2 lead. Welcome back to Leesburg, Florida, in the Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex. I'm Aaron Blue. Thank you so much for joining us here on your Sunday morning for Iowa softball, brought to you by Learfield IMG College. Top of the fourth, Iowa leads 3-2 after scoring an unearned run in the bottom of the third inning to retake the lead. 7, 8, and 9 due up for Maryland here in the fourth inning. And first pitch swinging, that ball is popped to the outfield. And Nia Carter makes the call. 1 pitch, 1 out. For the Hawkeyes here in the top of the fourth inning, that was Michaela Jones, the freshman, flying out to Carter. So in steps the 8-hitter JoJo McCrae, who's responsible for both Maryland runs with an RBI, 2 RBI triple in the second inning. Lays down a bunt there, fielded perfectly by Bogar at second. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Lehman here in the fourth inning. And it looks like we might have a change here for Maryland. We have an umpire out with a lineup card. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter. This is number 24, Sammy Steffen. And in the 9 spot, takes first pitch called strike. Stefan with just 5 at-bats this season. Takes a pitch just high there, 1-1. Stefan batting .200, 1 hit in those 5 at-bats. That hit was a double. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss there on a pitch outside. Stefan was trying to tie the game with that swing. So Stefan pinch hitting for Butler, the shortstop. So count is 1-2 here for Lehman. Another pitch outside. Fouled away by Stefan. Count remains 1-2. Stefan is an infielder, a senior from LaGrange, Ohio, Keystone High School. Lehman with the 1-2. Ground ball to short. Fielded cleanly. Nice throw by Baines over to Leckler for a quick 1-2-3 inning. Hawkeyes coming to bat here in the bottom of the 4th, leading 3-2. Back here in the bottom of the 4th inning with the Hawkeyes leading Maryland 3-2. It appears that Butler will re-enter as the shortstop for Maryland. White still in the circle. Has given up 2 runs on 2 hits. Excuse me, 3 runs on 2 hits, but 2 of those runs unearned. As Bogar steps in, takes a pitch high and inside for a ball. First batter of the game, Nia Carter, reached on an error, throwing error by the shortstop. Eventually came around to score. That run is unearned. And then Lecker reached on an error by the second baseman. Also came around to score. That's unearned. Fly ball by Bogar to center field. McFarland camps under it, makes the catch, 1 away. So 2 Maryland fielding errors have proven costly as Iowa leads 3-2. Number 8 hitter for Iowa, Sammy Diaz, digs in. She struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. Timing swing for Diaz, and she hits a rope down the right field line, but foul. Little break in the action as that ball comes back in play onto the field. Diaz again at third today. Is that bat out in front for the timing swing? White delivers. And that pitch catches the outside corner. 0-2. Diaz from Cypress, California. Weather down in Florida a little more comfortable for her with what she's used to, I'm assuming. Here's another timing swing. Pitch way outside, 1-2. And as nice it has been to get these games in, these Big Ten games in down in Florida, it's sure nice that this weather in the Midwest, despite what some of the forecast looks like here coming up, that they'll be able to return to campuses and play. I'm sure teams are looking forward to that and a little more sense of normalcy. Here's the 1-2. That pitch is lifted towards the Iowa dugout. Great play by Jones at third base for Maryland in foul territory to make the catch. She found the fence right by the dugout, went into the fence to make the catch before the ball could get there. Very nice play. So 2 outs in the inning, and in steps the 9-hitter, Briley Klosterman, who struck out in the second inning. Klosterman from the left side. Center fielder for Iowa. Swing and a miss, 0-1. I was talking with Coach Gillespie earlier this week about just how hard it has been to get regular practice in on dirt with the brutal winter we have had here in Iowa. Next pitch, 0-1, is in there for a strike, 0-2. They were able to get on dirt just once before these series started in Leesburg back in February. They actually got on the baseball field too with the turf field to try to get something going here at Iowa. And the 0-2 foul down the line. So we'll see what Mother Nature holds here for the rest of the season here. Iowa with 4 games against Purdue. 26th, doubleheader on the 27th, and a single game on the 28th. The 0-2 to Klosterman. High and outside, 1-2. Iowa's home opener is against Indiana on April 2nd. Again, with these 4-game series built as a single game on Friday, doubleheader Saturday, single game Sunday. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Nice job by Klosterman here to fight back. Was down quickly, 0-2. Fouled off a pitch. Now laying off some of these tempt pitches outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 hitter, Klosterman. Iowa leading 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And pitch just misses outside, so all the way back for Klosterman. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Just thinking about the usual difficulties that Midwest teams have trying to get ready for the season in February, but this year has just been even more difficult with the, like I said, the brutal winter that we've had here in the Midwest. Here's the full count. That ball is crushed to right field, but back goes McCray, who makes a nice catch to end the inning. So 1-2-3 for Iowa in the 4th inning. We'll be back after this on the Learfield IMG Network. Welcome back to Hawkeye Softball from Learfield IMG College. Top of the fifth. First pitch once again in play for Maryland. That is leadoff hitter Reagan Kerr with a single to center field in the top of the fifth. So Maryland with the tying run aboard. First pitch single by Reagan Kerr. Kerr 3 for 4 in stolen bases this year, and we know Maryland likes to run. Milkowski with a great game behind the plate, throwing out multiple runners yesterday. That pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Milkowski. So 1-0 to McFarland, the number 2 hitter. McFarland 0 for 2. Grounded out to short and to the pitcher. So Kerr on first, nobody out, a 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. Oh, just tapped foul. So 1-1. Again, Kerr, the first baseman, on at first. 3 for 4 in stolen bases this year. This is where Iowa really needs to button up defensively. 1-1 is a shallow pop fly that just falls in ahead of Klosterman in center. So back-to-back singles to center for Maryland. And they've got something in the works here in the top of the fifth inning. With Taylor Okada stepping in, she was hit by a pitch in the first inning and took a walk in the third. We'll see what Maryland decides to do here with runners on first and second and nobody out. If they decide to put the ball in play with anything related to the speed game. And that pitch taken all the way for a ball by Okada. No sacrifices for Okada so far this year. So 1-0, runners on first and second. And that pitch is flown to center field and caught by Klosterman. Runners do not advance, so nice job there by the Hawkeye defense to record the first out of the inning. Ball was hit basically right at Klosterman, and Kerr on first base had no chance of tagging. So in steps the cleanup hitter, Vulgaris, who's 0 for 1, but did have that sacrifice in the third inning. Did not lead to a run, and she's not sacrificing this time. That is a big cut, a foul ball down at the right field line and foul. Vulgaris struck out in the first, and that 5-4 sacrifice in the second. Again, runners on first and second for Maryland. 1 out, 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1, and she squares to bunt there. Their steal attempt is on. And Milkowski with a bullet down to Diaz at third. Another caught stealing for Milkowski. That is the second out of the inning. What a strike by Milkowski. So double steal, McFarland on second base, but that changes the complexion of this inning completely. Now you got the tying run at second base, 2 outs. And a foul back by Vulgaris. Again, another caught stealing by Milkowski. Just an absolute dart down to third base. A great tag by Diaz. And you could see just how excited that Hawkeye dugout was to eliminate that base runner and a potential go-ahead scoring attempt with 2 runners in scoring position. And here's a ground ball to short. Baines across the diamond, and the Hawkeyes escape once again stellar defense and stellar play behind the plate to maintain a 3-2 advantage here heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. Three runs on 3 hits. And no errors for Iowa here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Maryland with 2 runs on just 1 hit. And those 2 Maryland errors have led to 3 Iowa runs. Four Maryland hits, excuse me. Maryland has left 5 runners on base so far this game. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Iowa with that 3-2 advantage. Back to the top of the lineup for Iowa, which has been productive so far. Nia Carter digging in. Carter reached on that error, came around and scored. Grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. Carter just a sophomore. First pitch of the inning to Carter, taken all the way, and that is low for a 1-0 count. Carter, another California native, Rancho Cucamonga. Here's the 1-0. Ball is hit in the air, foul, and out of play down the left side. Just a great defensive inning by Iowa in the top of the 5th. Back-to-back singles to center field by Maryland. And that caught stealing has just completely changed the complexion of that inning. And Milkowski showing why she is such a threat behind the plate. That ball is grounded to first base by Carter. Kerr picks it up. Tags are on the way. First out of the inning on the 3 unassisted. Riley Sheehy, the junior, left fielder, up next. Entered the game with a .241 average. She is 0 for 2 so far today. With a strikeout in the 1st and a ground out to the pitcher in the 3rd. Takes low for ball 1. You just want to see some more balls in play here from Iowa. They've been able to force Maryland to make rushed throws, poor decisions that have led to some runs. Keep that ball in play. There's a ground ball to second base. Just beats Sheehy at first. A nice play by Okada there to get the throw in time to beat Sheehy by a step. So 2 outs in the inning for Baines. The 0-1 catches the first pitch catches the outside corner for an 0-1 count. Baines had the RBI single in the 1st inning and then had a line shot to first base that was snagged by Kerr in the third. She hit that ball hard. The 0-1, that ball is hit to center field and caught by McFarland to end the inning. So, quick 1-2-3 for Iowa here in the bottom of the fifth. We go to the sixth with Iowa leading 3-2. Big day in college sports today. Welcome back. Selection Sunday. Good to have March Madness back. The excitement of Selection Sunday today and Selection Monday on the women's side tomorrow. Expecting some good news for both Hawkeye men's and women's basketball teams when it comes to the NCAA tournament. Looking forward to watching tournament games again. First pitch of the inning by Lehman is a towering pop fly to first base. That is caught by Lecker. So again, one pitch, one out. To start the top of the sixth. So Campbell Klein for Maryland flies out for a quick first out. Trinity Schlotterbeck, the designated player, digs in, swinging away again on the first pitch that's fouled away. And one thing about Maryland is they are not waiting for their pitch. They are aggressive, and they are swinging in bunches. 0-1 to Schlotterbeck is very high. It's away from Milkowski. So 1-1. Schlotterbeck was walked in the second, came around to score the first run for Maryland, and then lined out to second in her second at bat in the third inning. That pitch is in there for a strike, 1-2. And a diving stop by Diaz at third, but the throw gets away from Lecker. So the tying run moves to second. On what I'm assumed will be a throwing error by Diaz. And we'll have a pinch runner at second. So the tying run here at second base, pinch runner that comes in is number 44, Megan McCamey. So Michaela Jones digs in and takes a first pitch strike. So So big spot in the game here, tying run at second base, and a beautiful changeup by Lehman to make it 0-2. Tying run at second for Maryland, 0-2 with 1 out. And that ball is lifted foul and out of play. And here's the 0-2, misses down low, 1-2. And the 1-2 is high, 2-2. And I would think after Milkowski's display over the last few games, Maryland is not thinking about trying to snag third, especially after that last throw that she made to eliminate the runner. Here's another changeup that sat back and hit to left field for a single by Jones. It was hard to see on this camera angle if that was in play or not, but runners on first and third now for Maryland with just 1 out. And JoJo McCray, the 8-hitter, steps in. She had that 2 RBI triple in the second inning to score the first 2 runs of the contest and then grounded out to second base. So once again, Iowa needs to be strong defensively here. Tying run on third, go ahead run on first. And a bunt attempt that looked like a safety squeeze. And Milkowski throws behind the runner at third. Diaz with a diving catch back. And that play looked closer than what it maybe could have been. Boy, Milkowski is just fearless behind the plate. Tying run at third, and she throws a bullet behind the runner on a safety squeeze. But on the play, Jones advances to second, so now runners at second and third. Another strike by Lehman, so 0-2. Runners now at second and third for Maryland. So the go-ahead run moves into scoring position. I think maybe that was a double steal attempt, and Milkowski made the right choice. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. So McCray, who had 2 RBIs earlier in the game, goes down swinging. What a huge second out of the inning for Lehman and the Hawkeyes. And it looks like we will have another pinch hitter in the 9 spot. And that will be Taylor Liguri. Liguri with 18 plate appearances, has 3 hits, but 2 of those doubles, and has 4 RBI this season. So Liguri steps in. First pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. Next pitch low for ball 2, so runners on second and third. So top of the 6th inning here. Pinch hitter Liguri in, 2-0 count. That's in their first strike. What a big spot in the game here again for Iowa. Runners on second and third. Tying run at second, go ahead run at third. Or excuse me, tying run at third, go ahead run at second. A 2-1 count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That is outside for a ball. So 3-1. To pinch hitter Taylor Liguri. There's a ground ball too short, and it gets through. That will plate 1 run, and the throw home, and they catch the go-ahead run at the plate. What a throw to keep this a tie ball game. So Liguri with the RBI single to plate the tying run, but the go-ahead run thrown out at home. Great tag by Milkowski to end the inning. So we're back knotted up at 3 heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Hawkeye Softball from Learfield IMG College. Looks like we have a few defensive changes here for Maryland. We'll try to get those to you when they are confirmed. Looks like Liguri's going to stay in the game at third. And Jones will move from third to short. So bottom of the 6th in a tie ball game now. And in steps Lecker. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch. Towering first baseman here, Lecker. 5'10". Steps in on 0-1 and lifts the ball just foul down the first baseline. So again, the Hawkeye defense coming up big in the top of the 6th. With Sheehy, after the tying run had scored, came up and threw an absolute dart to Milkowski at home to throw out the potential go-ahead run to end the inning. Iowa's defense once again keeping the Hawkeyes in it as a ground ball to short and the throw across the diamond by Butler is there in time for the first out of the inning. Nice backhanded play by Butler. Made a solid throw over to Kerr for the first out. So Milkowski now up for Iowa. Tie ball game 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Milkowski 1 for 1 the single and an RBI, and she was also hit by a pitch. First pitch outside, 1-0. Both starters in the circle still in for Maryland and Iowa. White for Maryland in the circle. Here's the 1-0. And that is low for ball 2. Let's see if Iowa can put a little pressure on Maryland here going into the 7th inning. Count is 2-0 to Milkowski. And the delivery is in there for a strike. Again, thank you so much for joining us here. 9:45 Central, 10:45 Eastern, wherever you're listening from, on the Hawkeye Radio Network. 3-3 in the 6th inning. 2-1. 2-1 count to Milkowski. And that's in there again for a strike. Even it up at 2-2. Can't say enough about what Milkowski has done behind the plate in this series. Making a name for herself with that arm behind the plate. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball is foul down the third baseline. Milkowski threw out 3 runners in the first game against Maryland yesterday. And another one today. The 2-2 is high, so full count here for Milkowski. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tie game 3-3. Yet another close game for Iowa. It seems to be the theme so far this year. A full count pitch from Wyke. Here we go. And that's outside for ball 4. Great at-bat by Milkowski. Very patient to take the walk. Burns, the designated player, now up for Iowa. She is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first. Flew out in the 6th. Burns with 5 RBI and 27 plate appearances entering today's contest. Be good to find some green on this one. Big swing and a foul straight back. Burns, the sophomore from Corona, California. And it appears we may have a pinch runner for Iowa. That is Zoe Schulte. So Schulte in. At first base. Get a little more speed on the base pass here for Iowa with that potential go-ahead run at first. We've got an 0-1 count on Burns. And that pitch catches the outside corner. Burns disagreeing with that call. So 0-2. Let's see how the Hawkeye staff decides to handle this. Maybe a little run and hit action. Put some pressure on Maryland here. Now 0-2. Swing and just fouled back. And the runner was going. Burns just got a piece of that to stay alive. Did look like Schulte was on the move. One out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Tie game 3-3. No balls, 2 strikes. To Kalina Burns. Here's the pitch. Ball is lifted high to right field and out of play. So here we go again. No balls, 2 strikes. White taking her time in the circle. Here's the delivery. And that's a high chopper to short. Looks like the only play will be to first base. So Schulte moves to second into scoring position, but 2 outs in the inning. And that brings up Bogar, who struck out looking in the first and flew out to center in the fourth. And this is another one of those clutch situations that Coach Gillespie talks about. Just need someone to come up with that big hit. Runner in scoring position, pinch runner, good speed. Get that ball in play, and let's see what happens here. First pitch taken for a strike by Bogar. Bogar from the left side, open stance. Maryland taking their time on their signals. Here's the pitch. And that ball is hit hard down the right side, but foul. So quickly 0-2 here on Bogar. Senior second baseman. Schulte, the pinch runner at second. Big spot in the game here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Potential go-ahead run at second base. And here's the pitch. Taken for strike 3 on the outside corner. And that will end the threat in the 6th inning. So we go to the top of the 7th. All knotted up at 3 here on the Learfield IMG College Radio Network. Looks like we're in for another close game here for Renee Gillespie's Iowa softball team. Started the season with a 1-run loss to Ohio State, came back with a one-run win against Ohio State. And then against 17th ranked Michigan, 2-0 and 6-5 losses. And the only game then determined by more than 1 run in that first series was a 6-1 win against Michigan State. We lost 1-0. And close games this weekend. First pitch change up here by Lehman, and the throw from Diaz across the diamond gets the out. So again, 1 pitch, 1 out for Iowa here to lead things off in the top of the 7th. That was Regan Kerr. So McFarland now up, the number 2 batter. First pitch from Lehman is high and tight, ball 1. So Kerr, the leadoff hitter, grounds out to third to start the top of the 7th. McFarland 1 for 3 so far in today's contest. And that is a line drive snagged by Diaz at third. So quickly 2 gone in the inning. Busy inning for Diaz over at third base. So Okada now digs in. She is 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Flew out to center in her last at bat in the 5th inning. Quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Lehman misses just inside with that one. Good outing here by Lehman so far. It's her 3rd outing of the year. She's gone the distance in her previous 2. The senior from Iowa City, Regina High School. Great change up there in for a strike. Look at this experienced pitching staff. Always can keep you in ball games with as many arms as Iowa has. Here's the 1-1, and that is in the dirt, 2-1. Talking about close games after that 6-1 win against Michigan State. Then it was another 1-run game. Came on the losing end of that one against Michigan State. And then a 5-1 win against Penn State. Here's the 2-1 that's in there for a strike. And then you look at the second game of that doubleheader was a 6-5 win in 12 innings. And then a 2-0 win in 8 innings. Then a 1-0 win against Maryland in 8 innings, and then a 3-2 loss. And that's another ball hit towards the left side. Bud Bain scoops it up. Nice throw over to Lecker in a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th. Let's see if the Hawkeyes can walk this off here in the bottom of the 7th. We're tied 3-3. You're listening to Hawkeye Softball from Learfield, IMG College. A smattering of "Let's Go Hawks" can be heard here at the Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex. Some parents in attendance as we head to the bottom of the 7th in a tie ball game with Iowa having a chance to walk it off here in yet another close contest, and it looks like we will have a pinch hitter Number 4, Marissa Peak. Taking a first pitch strike. Peak batting in place of Diaz. And that pitch way outside, 1-1. So 1-1. Big cut by Peak there. We'll make it 1-2. Peak, the freshman from Wentzville, Missouri. It's her 18th plate appearance. She has 3 hits. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside. Got her to chase for the first out of the inning. Aggressive swing, but just not a pitch in the zone that Peak could do much with. So Klosterman up, struck out in the second and flew out to right in the third. White still in the circle for Maryland. We're tied 3-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch to Klosterman is put in play and caught. A hard line drive by Klosterman, but snagged at third base by Jones. Actually, that would be Liguri after the substitution. Klosterman, the lefty, threw a bat out, hit a line drive, but snagged for this second out of the inning. So back to the top of the order here is Nia Carter. And that ball put in play off of White's glove, and that's going to be an error. So Carter safely aboard here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. We'll see if that's ruled a hit or an error. I would think that would be an error. It was a chopper back to White. It hit her glove and fell out. And the speedy Carter was able to get to first base. But that's something Coach Gillespie talks about. Just got to get that ball in play. Put pressure on the defense. Scrap and claw your way to runs, especially in these close contests. 9 of 11 of Iowa's games this year have been decided by 2 runs or less. And 4 of Iowa's 6 wins have been decided by 2 runs or less. So used to these pressure situations and need to just keep putting pressure on Maryland's defense. See what can happen. I'm not sure what the delay is here. Umpire has their card out. It looks like Sheehy's still the batter, and I highly doubt Iowa's pinch running for Carter. Unless there was a potential defensive substitution, but we can't see the entire field here off this stream, so we're going with what we got. So Sheehy in, runner at first, 2 outs. Pitch is high. Carter takes off for second, the throw down, and she is safe. Nia Carter swipes second base. Now the go-ahead run in tying in scoring position here for Iowa in the 7th inning. Another pause in the game here. I'm not sure what's being discussed, but the count is 0-1 after that swipe by Nia Carter at second base. So Riley Sheehy, a chance to drive in the winning run here and walk this off for Iowa as timeout is called by Maryland. For Carter, that is her 3rd stolen base of the year. She's 3 for 3. entire Maryland team in the infield. The pitcher circle here, discussing with Coach Montgomery's strategy. Absolutely love that call by Coach Gillespie and the Hawkeyes, putting your leadoff hitter in motion after an error. Get that go-ahead run in scoring position. Sheehy entered the game today with a .241 average with 3 RBI. She has struck out, grounded out to the pitcher, and grounded out to second base. Chance to be the hero here with the go-ahead run in scoring position. The pitch is high. Be 1-1. Big spot here for Iowa. Another close contest, tied 3-3, bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch, and that ball is lifted foul over the third base dugout. Now the scoreboard is saying the count is 2-1. I have it as 1-2 after that steal attempt. The umpire initially signaled a strike. I don't know if that's what the initial pause was. I've got the count as 1-2. The scoreboard has it as 2-1. At any rate, here's the delivery from Wyke. And that is outside. And it is 3-1. So that must have been the initial discussion, if that was a strike or a ball call after the stolen base. So 3-1 here to Sheehy. Tie ball game 3-3, 2 outs. Winning run at second base for Iowa. Here we go. Sheehy digs in. Here's the pitch, and that is low for ball 4. So the number 3 hitter, Grace Baines, digs in. She had an RBI single back in the first inning and then hit a line drive to first in the third and flew out to center in the 5th. Runners on first and second, tie ball game 3-3 in the 7th. First pitch to Baines is high, ball 1. You'd think anything that gets through the infield, Carter will be on the move to home from second base, rounding third with her speed as Maryland calls time. It's just amazing how many close games Iowa has been in so far this season with such a young roster, starting 5 freshmen today, 2 sophomores, 7 of the 9 starters underclassmen, and they just continue to stay in these close ball games, which is a great sign for years to come. But right now it's 3-3, bottom of the 7th. Winning run on second base with Grace Baines, the freshman, to bat. Count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0. And that is outside, 2-0. Great patience by a freshman here in such a clutch spot. Would be easy for a youngster to try to be the hero, swing at some of these outside pitches, and hit a ground ball to end the inning. But 2-0. Great hitters count here for Baines. Sitting 1 pitch, try to drive it. And there was that pitch, and it is lifted foul down the right field line. It was a mistake on the outer half of the plate. Baines just missed it. Still a good count, though, 2-1. Knotted up at 3s with the winning run, Nia Carter at second base. Sheehy at first after the walk. Here's the 2-1. That ball is lifted to the infield and caught by Liguri at third base to end the inning. Another extra inning contest coming here for Iowa as we're tied at 3 heading to the 8th. Free softball here on the Hawkeye Radio Network presented by Learfield IMG College. Back here in the top of the 8th inning here in Iowa versus Maryland. Pinch hitter number 10, Kate Dustin in. Batting in the cleanup spot for Grace Vulgaris. Tries to lay down a bunt in her first attempt, which goes foul. So yet another extra inning contest for the Hawkeyes. Here's the 0-1, and that is a wild pitch. And the runner that is placed on second base advances to third. So Maryland immediately with a sacrifice opportunity here. So runner on third. In a 1-1 count. Another pitch that's high. So 2-1. So Okada started at second, advanced to third on the wild pitch. 2-1, and that ball is lifted to right field and is down. Here's the throw from Carter, and she is out at home. What a throw by Nia Carter. Unbelievable play for the Hawkeyes. That ball was just blooped enough that Okada couldn't get a read if it was going to be caught or not, and Carter played it on the short hop and threw an absolute strike to Milkowski, who put the tag down to get the runner out. Unbelievable play for the Hawkeyes to keep this a tie ball game. So Dustin is at first base with 1 out on the 9-2 putout, and the Hawkeye defense again comes through. So Campbell Klein digs in with 1 out as the Hawkeyes call time. Again, back to that play with the tie-breaking runner starting at second base, moves to third on the wild pitch, and Dustin lifts the ball to right field. Carter plays it off the short hop. Okada couldn't tell if it was going to be caught, and she had to tag her if she could go. Takes off for home, and Carter throws just a beautiful strike to Milkowski on a rope for the tag to keep the game tied at 3. Beautiful play. So the first pitch to Klein is a strike. She was squaring to bunt. And second pitch in there for a strike. So quickly 0-2. One out here in the top of the 8th. 3-3 is our score. Maryland with a runner on first. Campbell Klein up with an 0-2 count. Lehman still in the circle for Iowa as time is called. Back at it, here's the 0-2, and that ball is lifted high to center field. Klosterman underneath it, makes the catch, no tag from first, 2 outs. So the designated player, Trinity Schlotterbeck, digs in. She is 0 for 2. Walked in the second, lined out to second in the third, and then reached on an error in the 6th inning. And it appears we might have a pinch hitter. Possibly not. Umpire is going to his book. I'm not sure what we've got here. Appears to be Schlotterbeck in the batter's box. It is number 3. First pitch taken high for a ball. So 1-0 count, 2 outs. The go-ahead run for Maryland is on first base here in the top of the 8th. Lehman gets the sign, delivers, big swing and a miss by Schlotterbeck. And here's the 1-1, just misses on the outside, 2-1. Next pitch in there on the inside corner for a strike, 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 changeup just outside. So 3-2 with 2 outs. So Dustin at first will get a head start on the full count. Lehman readies for the full count 2-out pitch in the 8th. And that is fouled back to the backstop. We'll do it again. Four of Iowa's last 6 games now have gone to extra innings, counting this one. And Iowa has won all 3 of those previous contests. Let's see if they can keep this tied heading into the bottom of the 8th. Full count, 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the full count delivery, and that ball is fouled down the first baseline and out of play. Lehman for Iowa has had a great outing, and her defense has really backed her up with some spectacular plays. 2 runs thrown out at home plate. A runner caught stealing at third. Outstanding defense for Iowa. Full count, here we go. And that ball is high. For ball 4, Milkowski threw down to second. Thankfully, that ball didn't get away. I think there was some confusion on the count there. At any rate, that's a walk. So the go-ahead run moves into scoring position. as Jones, the freshman, steps in. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Jones 1 for 2 with a walk. Hits a high fly ball out of play. Jones was one of the runners that was thrown out at home on the 7-2 put out. Back in the 6th inning, that would have been the go-ahead run. She walked in the first, came around and scored, and then flew out to right. Second pitch just misses outside. Milkowski held that one for an extra second. That one looked good. So 1-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. Still tied 3-3. Maryland with that go-ahead run in scoring position. Another runner on first base. Here's the 1-1. Changeup that is leapt and caught by Baines at short. Another outstanding play to keep Maryland off the board. What a play. Ball looped into the air. Baines with springs in her cleats to keep this game tied heading into the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Hawkeye Softball from Learfield, IMG College. Bottom of the 8th here for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Tied 3-3 against the Maryland Terrapins. What a series this has been. Game 1 yesterday in the doubleheader. Iowa won 1-0 in 8 innings on a double steal. First and third situation with a steal of home for the winning run, and then a 3-2 loss yesterday. Close contest between the Hawks and the Terrapins. And LaCour leads off for the Hawkeyes in the 8th inning. Lecker takes ball 1. Tries that sacrifice attempt to move that runner over to third. Can't get it down, so 1-1. That is Baines on second. So Lecker digs in. She has singled, reached on an error, and grounded out. And here's the 1-1, squares to bunt, and it's foul. Both teams struggling to get that sacrifice down with that tie-breaking run put in place. Maryland was able to get their runner over to third on a wild pitch. As Maryland calls time here. But after that wild pitch, to get that runner to third, Nia Carter threw the runner out at home on a bloop to right field on just a tremendous play to keep this game tied. 1-2 here to Lecker. Baines on second. And that pitch is outside, 2-2. I'm sure Baines is trying to keep that opposite field approach that Iowa's done so well today. Pushing that ball to the right side. 2-2, here's the pitch. Lifted to the right side and foul. Just kept her weight back, just trying to help that ball to the right side to see if Baines can get a little extra movement heading from third to home. So Baines at second with the international tiebreaker rule in place. Lecker at the plate, 2-2. Tied 3-3 here in the 8th inning. White with the delivery, and that ball is crushed down the left field line and foul. That ball was hit hard, but just couldn't stay fair. So we'll do it again, 2-2 here to Lecker. In a tie ball game, knotted up at 3 in the 8th inning. Baines at second base, which would be the winning run. Here's the pitch. And another foul ball. This one straight back. Hits the concession and restroom facility and bounds back into play. Good battle here. 3 straight foul balls by Lecker. Just a freshman in a clutch situation here against Wyke. And the pitch. It's a changeup that's hit to third. And Kerr does a great job of holding Baines at second base, fires it over. Jones does a good job of holding Baines at second, fires it over to Kerr at first for the first out of the inning. So can't move that runner over. And Milkowski up. Again, another freshman. And that ball is lined to left field and dropped. This will win the game for Iowa as Baines rounds third and scores. The Hawkeyes come pouring out of the dugout as Lindy Milkowski hits a line drive to left field. Klein lays out for it, can't make the catch. And Baines, who was on second base, rounded third and easily scored for the 4-3 win. What a great win for Coach Gillespie and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Lindy Milkowski with a walk-off single to left field. And that will do it for today's game. Unbelievable game all around for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Great pitching from Lehman. Clutch hitting and superb defense by the Iowa Hawkeyes. Let's get you some totals here as we end this game. Lehman will get the win. That will move her to 2-1 on the season. She allowed 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 4 hits in a complete game win. Milkowski with that clutch RBI single to win the game for Iowa. She ends the game with 2 RBI. She was 2 for 2. Was hit by a pitch and walked and had that clutch game-winning RBI single. You also had Grace Baines with an RBI. And the top of the lineup really did some damage for Iowa today. All 4 runs were scored by the top 4 hitters in the lineup. Nia Carter with a run scored, Grace Baines with a run scored, Lecker scored a run, and Grace Baines scored the winning runs with 2 runs scored. Just a great all-around performance by Iowa. With the victory here, 4-3, yet another win in extra innings on the walk-off single by Lindy Milkowski to score Grace Baines behind excellent defense by the Iowa Hawkeyes and a solid pitching performance by Sarah Lehman. That'll do it here for today's contest. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Daylight Savings Time Sunday. Enjoy Selection Sunday today and Selection Monday tomorrow, and we will be back in West Lafayette, Indiana on March 26th as the Hawkeyes take on Purdue in another Big Ten contest. This is Aaron Blue. Thank you so much for listening to Iowa Hawkeye Softball from Learfield, IMG College.